On page 120 of the book titled The Significance of Time, the author discusses a meaningful concept found in the Quran. In Surah Al-Asr, Allah informs us that how we conduct ourselves and our activities within the confines of time can ultimately lead us to either success or failure. This is not merely an abstract idea, but rather a serious matter emphasized by Allah himself. The surah begins with the statement, "By the passage of time, truly mankind is at a great loss." This profound declaration serves as a solemn reminder of the gravity of our actions as time passes. It cautions against the folly of being preoccupied with inconsequential pursuits, even if one embodies the ideals of a modern-day yogi, remaining present yet failing to engage in the critical aspects that lead to true success. Allah emphasizes that without involvement in fiqh activities, one remains in a state of loss. The full verse continues, "Except for those who have faith, do good deeds, urge one another to the truth, and urge one another to patience and perseverance." Quran, chapter 103. The import of this surah cannot be overstated. By invoking his name, Allah emphasizes the significance of the words that follow. The term time in this context refers not only to its mere passage but also to the urgency of our engagement within it, highlighting the necessity of dedicating ourselves to meaningful actions. The final moments of daylight, much like the last stretch of a relay race, are when we ought to exert the most effort. The Arabic word for final also suggests an element of pressure or urgency, indicating that Allah desires us to feel the weight of our responsibilities that drive us to maximize our time effectively. Indeed, if this were the only surah we had access to in the Quran, it would suffice for our guidance. Allah states that if we are not mindful of the following four qualities, we risk being at a loss. The first is having faith, iman. The second is engaging in righteous conduct. The third is actively calling others to the teachings of Islam, and the fourth is exercising patience and perseverance through life's trials. Further, I would like to acknowledge the generous support we've received on platforms like YouTube. A heartfelt thank you to our viewers, and let's take a moment to celebrate each contribution. Your engagement is truly appreciated. Returning to our discussion, it is vital to recognize the need for a shift in our perspective towards strengthening our iman. If anyone expresses feelings of weakness or a lack of motivation to perform good deeds despite having considerable knowledge of Islam, it's essential to remind them that mere knowledge does not translate into spiritual motivation. Rather, it is the strength of one's iman that acts as the inner light propelling us forward. Are you actively reciting the Quran? Are you fulfilling your 5 daily prayers punctually? Are you constantly remembering Allah, both during the day and at night? Incorporating these practices can significantly bolster one's iman. If you notice a decline in your righteous conduct, it often indicates a weakening of your faith. Thus, to avoid a state of loss, it's crucial to fill our days and nights with meaningful, righteous deeds. Allah has urged us to be diligent. We must put forth effort and recognition that spiritual fulfillment is not simply about a feel-good presence or a whimsical engagement with life. It requires us to take real actions. Our journey is intertwined with the divine purpose behind creation, and this world functions as a matrix crafted by Allah containing lessons and tests for us to navigate. Moreover, as illustrated in point 3 of our discussion, calling others to Islam is not merely a personal endeavor. It is our obligation to share the message, going beyond simply engaging in personal acts of worship. While it is commendable to deepen our own faith, we also carry the responsibility to invite others to the path of Allah. The Quran is replete with narratives of the prophets, offering us guidance on how to interact with humanity, and fulfills our duty of inviting others to faith. Many may rightly understand that practicing prayer, fasting, and giving zakat are obligatory. Yet, they might overlook the duty of inviting others to Islam, which is equally incumbent upon each of us. It's easy to worship in isolation. The real challenge lies in engaging with the wider community and facing resistance, perhaps even ridicule in the process. The example of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, highlights that when he began inviting others toward the truth, he faced significant opposition, even from those closest to him. This predicament illustrates the necessity of patience, as calling others to faith can often result in discomfort and challenge. The spiritual growth that arises from such trials is profound. Every irritation can serve as a mirror reflecting our potential for growth. We must cultivate concern for others and invite them to learn about Allah's teachings. This not only extends the scope of our faith, but also safeguards us from becoming complacent or overly self-focused. Those who are perceived as righteous might find comfort in their routine spiritual practices, but true humility and understanding come when you step outside your comfort zone to extend a hand to others. As we focus on ourselves, it is essential to remember that our mission doesn't end there. When we start to reach out and encounter pushback, it will require us to tap into our reservoir of patience. The latter part of the surah addresses our collective responsibilities as followers of the Prophet, peace be upon him. We will delve deeper into these themes in the second part of our discussion, which will be shared in my upcoming book, scheduled for release later this year, inshallah. For now, let's concentrate on the initial two components of our mission, taking stock of how we spend our time. Each moment that slips by without being infused with iman-driven deeds is counted against us. The challenges we face are divinely ordained, intended to test our resilience and character. When trials arise, whether it be family strife, disagreements with a spouse, or other burdens, it is vital to perceive these as opportunities for growth. We are all fallible beings and will face moments of weakness and failure in our journey, but our objective is to respond rather than react to life's unfolding events. Reactions stem from the ego, responses come from presence, considering how Allah would have us behave in situations of adversity. Gaining insights into the commands of Allah and the teachings of the Prophet, peace be upon him, equips us to navigate the trials we encounter, whether they arise from good or challenging circumstances. In all moments, both joyful and difficult, recognize that everything is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's crucial to shift our understanding away from attributing our hardships solely to external factors, holding ourselves accountable for how we spend our time and where we direct our focus. Rather than lamenting, "I don't have enough time," remember that this too is a choice. Recognize that mature adults understand the importance of prioritization rather than blaming the clock. Each action is a reflection of our priorities, and our allocation of time must align with our values and responsibilities. In conclusion, we must acknowledge that time is a divine gift. It is up to us to utilize it wisely and accountably, engaging with it in a manner that fosters spiritual growth and fulfills our responsibilities to ourselves and each other. As we continue this exploration into the nuances of time, I encourage you to reflect on your own experiences and how they shape your understanding of this profound concept in light of Allah's teachings.